morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Ilorin. Good morning, Kwara State. You are listening to us live from Emirate Radio. We are located at Emirate House behind Federal Ministry of Environment along Old Jeba Road, Ilorin, Kwara State. And this is the daily newspaper review from Emirate Radio. I am Latifah Ibrahim-Arowona. And on the newspaper a headline review this morning, we have the Punch newspaper, the Leadership, Vanguard, Daily Post to digest. So come with me on this beautiful Tuesday morning. So firstly, on the Punch newspaper, we have the Ibadan Stampede. Judge files Oni's ex-queen orders detention, grants Naomi 10 million bail. Justice K.B. Olawoyin of the Oyo State High Court in Ibadan on Monday faulted the detention of ex-queen of the Oni of Ife, Silekunla Naomi, and her co-defendants in the prison custody. The judge declared that there is no place in Nigerian law for a holding charge, which was used to detain Naomi alongside the owner of Ibadan-based broadcasting station, Oriyomi Hamzat, and the principal of Islamic High School, Bashorun Abdulhib Fasasi, at the Agodi Correctional Center. The three defendants are facing criminal charges over the December 18 Christmas fun fair they organized for children in Ibadan, which tragically caused a stampede leading to the deaths of 35 children. Still on the Punch newspaper, we have immigration intensified border patrol over Lakurawa. The Nigerian Immigration Service, Sokoto State Command, has reaffirmed its commitment to enhance border security as part of efforts to address security threats posed by the emergence of the Lakurawa set. The state controller of the NIS, Mr. Yusuf Bage, gave the assurance on Monday in Sokoto, which he received the leadership of the State Council of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, who paid him a courtesy visit. Bage noted the security challenges posed by the Lakurawa set, describing it as a new and evolving threat, especially in the state. Still on the Punch newspaper, we have FG to unveil 3 cancer facilities in May, says Minister. The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Pate, has said 3 major cancer facilities with equipment investments will be inaugurated by May 2025. Pate made this known on Monday when he have appeared on Channel Television Sunrise Daily, monitored by our correspondent. He said, for the first time in Nigerian history, 6 major cancer infrastructure and equipment investments were approved by Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, early last year, of which they are already underway. The 3 of them will be ready by May 2025 to be inaugurated. Nigeria has never had that. Lastly, on the Punch newspaper, we have Kogi begins statewide property enumeration. The Kogi State Bureau of Land Development has commenced a statewide property enumeration to enable individuals, organizations, communities, and foreign investors to identify and take ownership of their properties under a recount-free process. The permanent secretary of the Bureau, Bayegusi Taiwo, speaking on behalf of the Director General of the Bureau, Alhaji Abdulmalik Zaina, made this known while addressing newsmen on the sideline of the commencement of the new policy in Lokoja on Monday. And next is the leadership newspaper. We have Benue pensioners to buy nomination form for Alia. The Nigerian Union of Pensioners Benue State Chapter has disclosed that they will use their 1 month pension to purchase a governorship nomination form for the governor of Benue State, Hyacinth Alia, to contest again come 2027. The pensioners made this intention known through their chairman, Mike Vembe, during the presentation of a letter of commendation to the Chief Medical Director, Benue State University Teaching Hospital, Makurdi, Dr. Stephen Wande, for commencing free medical services for pensioners in the state. He explained that the purchasing of the 2027 governorship form for the governor is to thank him for bringing them back to life, describing the gesture as a first of its kind. You want to read that and more, you can pick the leadership paper and read. And lastly, on the leadership newspaper this morning, we're going to read Kaduna Peace Model to Tackle Insecurity in Your State, Sani tells Governor. Kaduna State Governor Uba Sani has advised governors that are facing security challenges in their states to adopt the Kaduna model to tackle the problem. Governor Sani said his administration's non-kinetic approach has started yielding results in Kaduna State. He maintained that peace had now returned to Birnin Gwari, which had been facing insecurities for several years, adding that economic activities had started picking up in the area. So you want to read that and more, you can pick up leadership newspaper and do that. So next on today's newspaper review is the Vanguard newspaper. He was acting like an emperor. APC chieftain justifies Obasa's impeachment. A chieftain of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Fuad Oki, has stated that Mudashiru Obasa's impeachment as Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly was essential to holding him accountable for his actions. Oki made these statements on Monday while appearing on Channel Television's Politics Today following Obasa's impeachment. Obasa, a 6-term APC lawmaker representing Agege constituency, was impeached on Monday by the Lagos State House of Assembly over allegations of fraud. on the Vanguard newspaper, petrol to cost more as depot owners raises price to 950 naira per litre. The premium motor spirits (PMS), also known as petrol, will likely cost more as depot owners have increased prices to about 4.74%. This followed the recent increase of crude oil prices, including Nigeria's Bonny Light to $80 per barrel this week from $73 per barrel last week. Already, some depots, including Swift Depot, have increased their loading prices to 950 per litre from 907 naira per litre, while Wasbab Depot also increased its price to 950 naira per litre from 909 naira per litre. So, you want to read that and more, you can pick the Vanguard newspaper and do that. Next on the Vanguard newspaper, we have, still on the oil, crude oil production jumped from 10,000 to 32,000 barrels per day in Abia. The increase in crude oil production in Abia State have been attributed to the engagement of a local security firm in the surveillance and protection of oil pipelines and installations in the state. According to the Executive Director of Okposon Security Service, Mr. David Nwogu, crude oil production in Abia State has increased from 8,000 per 10,000 barrels per day. It's hovered before August 2024 to 32,000 barrels per day in less than 6 months. If you want to read that and more, pick up the Vanguard newspaper and do that. And lastly, on the Vanguard newspaper this morning, we have 2025 budget, NAS to remove JAMB from federal government's grants. The National Assembly, comprising the states and House of Representatives, has threatened to remove the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board (JAMB) in the 2025 budget proposal, saying it was unjustifiable for the board not to remit 4 billion naira to the federation account despite getting 6 billion naira from the federal government in 2024. According to NAS, the federal government should stop giving JAMB grants and allow it spend what it generates. The position of the Joint Commission of NAS was sequel to the presentation by JAMB Registrar Professor Ishaq Oloyede, who appeared before the committee led by Senator Sani Musa. ABC Niger East to defend the agency's 2025 budget proposal as an interactive session on ministries, departments, and agencies' MDA's revenue projection for 2025. So you want to read that and more, you can pick the Vanguard newspaper and do that. The next newspaper we are going to take this morning is the Daily Post. Kwara, PDP condemns erection of walls against traders in Ilorin. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Kwara State has condemned the decision by the Abdurrahman Abdulrazak-led All Progressive Congress, APC, government to erect walls against Challenge, Unity, Post Office, and other key businesses area in Ilorin metropolis. According to a statement by the state chairman of the main opposition party, Babatunde Mohammed, the action is not only an act of economic sabotage but also a calculated attempt to strangle the poor masses and enterprising youth population of Kwara State who rely on these areas for their livelihoods. The party sympathized deeply with all affected victims of the draconian economic strangulation scheme, especially those protesting the despicable acts of the government. So you want to read that and more, it's very, very juicy. Pick up the Daily Post and read. EFCC arrests 5 Katsina revenue officials over alleged 1.229 billion naira fraud. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Kano Zonal Command, has arrested 5 officials of the Katsina State Board of Internal Revenue for allegedly diverting 1.29 million naira meant for the state's government. The suspects, identified as Rabiu Abdullahi, Sanusi Muhammad Yero, Ibrahim M. Kofar Soro, Ibrahim Aliyu, and Nura Lawal Kofar Sauri, were taken into custody following a petition from the Katsina State government. The petition alleged that the officials conspired to misappropriate funds provided by the international health organizations, including the World Health Organization's Médecins Sans Frontières and Alliance for International Medical Action. So you want to read that and more, pick up the Daily Post and do that. So, still on the Daily Post newspaper this morning, on the newspaper review, is the insecurity facing 60% of Northeast manufacturers to shut down. The Manufacturing Association of Nigeria has disclosed that 60% of manufacturing companies in the Northern East has shut down operations due to an increasingly hostile business environment fueled by insecurity. The Director General of MAN, Mr. Segun Ajayi Quadri, made this revelation during a panel discussion at the 13th anniversary lecture in Lagos, themed Business and Policy Strategy, examining the role of reforms in enhancing the ease of doing business in Nigeria. The event brought stakeholders together to discuss expressing economic issues. And lastly, this morning on the newspaper review, we have a news update that repair work commences at Diamond Underpass flyover. And the details are that the Kwara State Governor, under the leadership of Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak, has begun another round of repair work at the Diamond Underpass flyover along the Ilorin Airport Road in the state's capital by Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed administration. And that's the last news we have this morning on the newspaper review. Thank you for staying with us. You're listening to Emirate Radio, and we are located at Emirate Radio House along Old Jebba Road, Ilorin, behind the Federal Ministry of Environment. You can continue to listen to all our nice and amazing program on our social media handles. We have Facebook, TikTok, X, formerly Twitter, and you can go to YouTube to watch our videos at Emirate Radio. And you can download our app on Google Play Store at Emirate Radio. Thank you for listening. I am Latifah Ibrahim-Arowona. Have an amazing day.